Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. I am Tamika. This is Tamika's Den. Okay. Come on in here, y'all. All right. Let's talk power. All right. So I'm doing just a recap on Power Force for Firestarter. Okay, it's tonight's episode. And this is season 1, episode 3. And we basically start off where we left off last time, you guys. All right, we got Tommy with Liliana. He's trying to figure out, where did you get these drugs from? Who do these belong to? She's trying to tell him that, you know, she got into it with this person or whatever the case may be. She got the upper hand. She's the only one that walked away from it. And nobody has came looking or asking about it since then. This is supposedly why she got it buried underneath the floors in the house. And Tommy's like, come on now. He was like, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he gets to 10. And so he's like, this is about 10 bricks, at 30,000 a pop. Nobody is just walking away from something like that. There's more to this story. You know who this belongs to. And we all know, who on the original Power used to have those spiders, okay, and the cards that Ghost was giving out and all of that different kind of stuff. And so he's not believing Lydiana, and neither am I, okay? I definitely think she has more going on than what she's letting on. She doesn't want to tell him the full thing. And maybe some would say that they can't blame her, or they don't blame her, because at the end of the day, of course, Tommy has been trying to kill her ass. And, we know that they have a history, and we know that at the end of the day, she's never snitched on them. It was never any other issues. It was the fact that the girl with the pink sneakers cut her face, and they didn't feel like, she would be able to do the work that she was doing, because now she had this recognizable scar. And obviously, she's proved, after Julio gave her the money and sent her away, she, like I said, she's never snitched. She's never been out there. She's been obviously making it all this time on her own, doing whatever she's been doing. So Tommy does kind of see, like, okay, you smart. You made it this far. You may actually be able to add something to this and help me out. And you've been out here, so you kind of have an idea of the players and what's going on. We could come together and work together, instead of me killing you, we could do business. What do you say to that? And she essentially says, I'm all about making money, right? But I think Tommy can trust her as far as he can see her, right? I think that she is smart and she do want to make money, but she's definitely not telling him the full story of, where these drugs come into play. And, well, I guess we will see, right? Everything always comes to light. But for now, he's saying okay, because he told her they could do 70-30 as far as the profits. And she was like, oh, hell no. If, we going to be in this together and, I'm putting all of this work in, then it's going to be 50-50. Okay. And so I'm like, okay, we'll see. Then we see Vic, he's going to pick up Simon. Apparently Simon needs to be bailed out. And I'm like, okay, what the hell did Simon do to get arrested? Because to be honest with y'all, last time I remember seeing Simon is when he was getting them fingers and that hand broke up, okay, and getting his behind kicked by Tommy. So if anything, I was expecting him to be picking up Simon from the hospital. And he dishes out $9,700 to bail him out, or $9,500 to bail him out, but then gave extra on top of that, because she told him that it could possibly be a minute or two. And he was like, let's, give you a little something extra to make that faster. And she basically, gave him a little smile and was like, he'll be out in a minute. So, Simon comes out and he's already starts shouting, like, as soon as he's walking through the door, oh, they arrested me for nothing. And Vic is telling him, like, yo, shut the hell up. You screaming all of that in the damn precinct. And so, first episode, Vic was the one that came off to me kind of sloppy, a hothead. But in this episode, I'm kind of feeling like it's your boy damn Simon that's off. Vic seemed like he was kind of holding it more together. Like maybe we seeing a little bit of a different side of him. And he stops and talks to the cop that we saw come into Diamond's place, and apparently they got them on the payroll, okay? So he wants to know why the hell is, this going on. He was like, at first they thought it was a joke, why is two uniformed cops coming and arresting him? And he's like, we paying you good money, to make sure nobody bothers him. And he basically tells him, like, listen, I can't be on top of everything, I do the best I can, and I've kept a lot of heat off of y'all. And, this is like up the food chain, way higher than me. Y'all got beef. And so he's like, listen, my family gets a pass. And he told him, like, first of all, get your damn hands off my paper. He was like, you got a problem with the ward. And he was like, I do everything I can to make the problems go away. And Vic is like, are you sure about that? But he throws him the money and he says, I don't believe you. And he says, but thank you, basically being sarcastic. And he told him, this is an alderman issue, not a cop issue. And so obviously they got some other people that they need to speak to. We had Liliana there at Tommy's apartment, and he keeps looking at this spider, card over and over and over. He puts it in his pocket after he takes it off the product. And when she comes out, she's basically just in her t-shirt and panties. And he tells her, you don't really do it for me. And she was like, look, you don't do it for me either. Trust, I don't do white guys. I have no interest in them whatsoever. So you don't got to worry about that. She was like, I'm taking this off because you don't want to have any of this, touching you when you doing it. And she was like, here, I'm saying, your hands is free. Like, aren't you going to help me and basically take out these trays from his refrigerator to go ahead and use to cut it up? And he was telling her it's been a really long time since he's cut up anything. Him and Ghost used to cut up stuff together. And she was like, yeah, well, what happened with Ghost or whatever the case may be? He finally cut your behind off too. And he lets her know that Ghost is dead, okay? And she was like, oh, wow, what happened? Did you do it? And he was like, no, but I couldn't stop it from happening. And so she gives, condolences for that or whatever and says that she's sorry, to hear that. And he's basically like, me too. And so, she was like, still bringing up, why should I trust you? Why should I believe you really want to work with me and nothing else ain't going to happen? Or whatever the case may be. And he was like, yo, why you keep bringing that up every minute? She was like, because you tried to kill me. He was like, that's a long time ago. And I had to laugh at that because I'm like, actually, Tommy, is not a long time ago, okay? You just finished trying to damn kill her before you found these damn drugs. So anyway, he was basically telling her that she's good at this. And he's like, the way she's breaking everything down, he's like, wow, we could have been using you. We actually should have kept you instead of sending you away and put you to do this, and of course she's agreeing with him on that or whatever because she was making it where it would be an even bigger profit, for them. And of course that's a good thing. And so, he actually pours her a drink and pours him a drink, I guess letting her know, like, this is peace between us. We agreed to the 50-50. We're going to be on one page. And she gives a toast to Ghost. And then he says to Ghost, and they basically have their drink. And so right now, they are going to be a team. We shall see. Right? And then we have Tommy going and dropping off some pieces to JP. He's checking up on him. And they have a conversation where Tommy is actually asking, how is this house being paid for? How is grandma, bills for her to be inside of this home being paid for? And JP says he really doesn't know that. To his knowledge, is some type of trust. Okay, and he was like, I know somebody that we probably could ask to be able to find out more information. And of course, he's talking about Kate. And of course, Kate is, not an option for Tommy. He don't want to discuss anything about that, And he's saying to Tommy, thank you. He's a lifesaver for bringing the pizza. He's telling him upstairs is kind of squared away, but downstairs is a lot more work. And so I don't know if they trying to see about fixing up the house to sell it, or if they just trying to fix it up in general, what they really got going on there. But it looks like it's some kind of work that he wants to do. But he's saying, I'm gonna keep this right here. And when they look, it's like how some people would do the measuring of the child on the wall, and you could see that some is Tommy and some is here him. And he's like, we was never here at the same time, so that is why, of course, we didn't know about each other. And so he actually wants to give, Tommy back the money again. He's starting to ask more questions about it, whether it's legal or not, saying, money brings problems between family, which could be true. And he don't think that he should be, taking it. And so Tommy tells him that he had money with a laundromat, and that him and his partner had a club, and they end up splitting the money down the middle and going their separate ways. He came here and his partner went down south. And he was like, still saying, yeah, I get it, but it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel legal, And of course, like I said, Tommy's trying to explain everything to him and say, that's my business, don't worry about it. We had parking lots, we had nightclubs, we had laundromats, and all of that good stuff, right? And he basically says, what's your number? Everybody has a number. I don't care who it is. And I'm kind of curious as to why Tommy wants to go so hard to give him money. Is this really just a thing of him wanting to help him out as his brother? Or is this like that way he'll owe me, or he'll be able to use the business that JP has as a front and be able to wash his money through there? Maybe it's a combination of both, but I'm curious to see how that's all gonna play out. And then we had Diamond and Jannard kind of like continuing the conversation in a different way than what Tommy and JP was just having, where they're talking about money too, right? Oh, I also forgot that when he asked JP his number, JP said 196,263 is what he needs. And Tommy said, okay, that's a high number. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's a high number, and that's also a very specific number, okay? So that was interesting to me. Then we had Diamond and Jannard basically talking a similar conversation, but in their conversation, they're saying how, Jannard is saying this is a way we could clean cash, and we also can make this feel good and update it and do different work in it, so that this is something that the little kids could come to. And he tells him, your house, your business, the barbershop, all that stuff came from the money I made. What's the difference, And if we using it for this, it doesn't matter where the money came from. And Diamond is kind of saying it matters to me. All right. At the same time, they did, I guess, to play ball. You see Diamond with the bat. You see Jannard with some beers, and they like, come on, let's get to it. And then you had Tommy coming back to the house. And then I look like she done put it in. Okay, she got bundles of stuff packaged up there that she got set. She's sitting down. Tommy talking about, come on, get up. You got to get to work. She like, shoot, I just sat down to take a break a couple minutes ago, okay? I've been in here working hard. And, you could see that he has the map that we seen him looking now. He got his notes he been taking. So she was like, well, Dad, you ain't playing. You really doing your research. And, of course, he starts to ask her, what she knows as far as Flynn and Diamond and them go. And she says, well, she did try to work with Diamond and them maybe not too long after she got to Chicago. But Jannard was, well, not Diamond because he was locked up, but Samson, Jannard was busy trying to rap to her and get with her every minute. And she didn't want to be bothered with him in that way. And she's never worked with Flynn and them because everything with them is basically, the blacks on this side that own these areas, the white on that side that own these areas. And they don't mix with certain stuff. And plus the friends have only ever messed with pills. And then she was asking Tommy if, he had any coffee or anything like that. And he was like, no. And she was like, well, I need a kick. I need something to boost me to get me going so that I can finish this off. And then she looks down at the product and he's like, well, yeah, I haven't even tasted yet, so come on. And she was like, breakfast of champions, right? So they go ahead and do taste test, I guess you can say, on the product to see how it is. And Tommy is like, okay, yeah, I could rock with this. This is good. And Tommy is trying to say to her, He gets it. This is not New York. They do things different here, and it's all about the areas and, who's who and the color or whatever. But he was like, the only color that should matter is green, right? For Tommy, he don't give a damn about all that black and white stuff. He's figuring money talk and bull crap walks, right? And so she's like, I don't know about all of that. I'm telling you how they do it. And he was like, okay, well, we'll see. Because she was telling him that, it's all broke up. And he was saying that is a lot that's up for grabs that they can make a lot of money with, okay? And so Diamond and Jannard are playing ball now at this point on the field, or at least trying to. But Jannard keeps talking, right? He keeps going on about the way he wants things run. Then he's bringing up Tommy, asking Diamond if he's still going to be messing with him. And he's like, you're not answering my question. And he was like, because I don't want to answer your question and I don't have to. He was like, can you just throw the damn ball already, okay? That's what we came out here to do, is play ball. He also was telling him, that he didn't get to watch this baseball game. He only heard it on a little transmitter radio, and he was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, that's one of the things, about being locked up. And so, Jannard doesn't want him messing with Tommy at all. He feels like the old Diamond would have been took Tommy out, and that is no reason for him to still be messing with him. And he's saying, I'm not the old Diamond. That old Diamond is gone. Basically I left him out in jail. I'm out now. And, Jannard is saying that is part of the problem. Not only is he not the old Diamond, but this is not the old game. So just like we already saw coming, you can definitely see a divide. You can definitely see that there's going to be a power struggle. We saw that. You can see that he's jealous of Tommy, and he's probably feeling like, his brother is siding with Tommy and could possibly end up starting to work with him. And also that he still wants to be in charge. He lets him know, I'm in charge now. I'm the man that's been making everything happen. And he says he fought to get here. But Diamond reminds him, you would not even have this position had it not been that I gave it to you. And then he says, you may have gave it to me, but I'm still the man that's in charge. And I'm still the one that got it to this point. And to a certain degree, I can understand where Jannard is coming from, because if you've been running something for 15 years, it's hard for you to just step aside after that and be like, okay, now that you're back out, I'm going to just, step aside and not do nothing, and you're going to be the one that's in charge. But at the same time, from what Diamond says, he's been taking care of him, and he's the one that made everything happen. So I feel like it's supposed to be a certain level of respect from that regard as well. We also see that the cop is there recording them the whole time that they're playing on the field and having this argument. And then we see Flynn and them talking about this problem they have with the aldermen, and saying that the feds is not bothering them right now. It's basically a meeting between Daddy Flynn, Claudia, and Vic. And he's telling, Claudia, I need you to put on something sexy, something stimulant, okay, and put some sugar on it and go meet up with him. At first they was making jokes saying Vic couldn't do it because he's not his type and he wouldn't be able to go kiss butt or whatever. Claudia was actually saying, oh yeah, why not send him? He could go and kiss behind. And you could tell she's pissed off that her father's basically telling her to use her feminine ways to go in and talk to the guy, like she's good enough to do that and she's good enough to do the bookkeeping. But of course, anything else she brings up, you supposed to stay out of it. But now when it comes to this, you want her in it. And so, of course, she's not happy with it. You could tell she's walking away with an attitude. But she tells him, okay, yeah, I got you. I'm going to, take care of it. And that's when he tells her, and put some sugar on it. I said, this man is something else, boy. And so then we see, Glow visiting this tombstone, the graveyard, looking at this tombstone. And we find out that Vic actually just bought it. And this is Glow's mom that she's there paying her respects to. And she's like, wow, you bought this tombstone. And he said, yeah, she was the only one that kind of like supported them. And I guess didn't have a problem with their relationship when they were together. And she was saying that's true. And he let her know that he saw her with Tommy And she was like, oh, so was that why you bought the tombstone or whatever? And he was like, no, it didn't have nothing to do with that. I just want to let you know that I cared about you and whatever else to that degree. And so she let him know that he cannot, buy her. If he wants to be with her, that's not the way to go about it. And of course, he's still asking her if it's a chance between them two. And she is saying that she does not know, okay? Then we had Tommy and Liliana go and meet up with Walter, Flynn, and Paulie. And Paulie now is kind of coming off like, why is he still here? I thought you told him to get out of here. Whereas before, Paulie was actually the one that seemed like he kind of liked, Tommy was trying to give him warnings. It kind of felt like he had a respect for Tommy. And now, this time, he seemed like he was a little annoyed with him. Like, okay, you was told to go away and you still here. And of course, Tommy is telling them, nobody don't tell me what the heck to do. Okay, I decided to stay around a little longer and I got some business, to discuss with you. And so when him and Flynn walk off to talk, Paulie and Liliana is left standing there. And Paulie is basically making small talk with Liliana. He talking about, so what happened to your face? Anyway, how did you cut it like that? And she tells him she cut it shaving. She was like, what's your excuse? And then he was asking her, do you answer a question with a question all the time? And she was like, do I? And then he gonna talk about some, oh, will we be able to go on a date sometime? She was like, maybe if you cut that mustache. So I thought that was funny and interesting, okay? And so, Flynn is basically asking Tommy what's his goal, what is he trying to see, and he was saying, when he tell his men to do things or his people to do things, they do it. And Tommy was like, well, that's easy. I'm not one of your people, so therefore that's why I didn't do it. And Flynn tells him, oh yeah, you are one of my people. I can see it in your eyes. So I guess he was saying that he can tell that Tommy, have some type of Irish in him. And Tommy tells him that I'm a mutt. And I love that because I always say the same thing about myself too. And he was laughing like, yeah, okay, mutt. But at the end of the day, that Irish is still in you and you can't take that out. And so, him and Tommy essentially have a conversation. Tommy saying, I know the way y'all work. I know what y'all used to doing. But I also know that you're not really making money like that. Your money has been low. He's like, well, how the heck you know about that? Tommy's like, I've been paying attention. And he's saying, I know you just been used to doing pills. But there's a different way, for you to do it other than the way than what you've been doing all this time. And he tells him that he wants them to work together. And he was telling him that Liliana is a hitter. She's down. She can do a lot more than what it may look like she could do. And that he basically got this because he was like saying, well, why you only brung her? That's supposed to be your backup. And Tommy was letting him know like, okay, well, she's more than enough. And so I thought that was cool because he was not trying to have them try to play him like a sucker. And so, he was saying there's a lot that we could do out here. You could build and you could have a lot more than what you've been having. The way you've been doing it haven't been working. So why does it seem like you so scared, to make changes? And basically he wants to be able to have this meet, this sit down and be able to bring the Flynn family and the Sampson family together. And so, his father says, okay, Flynn rather, Walter Flynn says, okay, I got something for you to do somewhere where I think we could start. And the next thing you see is Vic and Tommy together, okay? And then, Tommy's kind of like, this is not what I had in mind. And at the end of the day, Vic is saying, when it's money, you don't say no. Whatever we got to do, we got to do. I'm not worried about all the other stuff in between. So I was kind of surprised to hear Vic say that as well, especially on top of that, us knowing that he's seen him with Glow and that he's jealous about that. It was kind of good to see that right now it's about business, and so that's all I care about. And he was like, let's get down to it. And he was like, if you're going to invest in this, then we need to make, good partners and do what we got to do. And it was funny as well because at first Walter was trying to act like he was down, and Tommy had said to him like, don't try to play me, you don't know the difference between BML and BET. And so Vic takes Tommy up to this place where, the guy's going all crazy. I think this was the original person that was supposed to send them the drugs in the beginning, where they went and those two young guys was there. He high as hell. He jamming music behind a damn DJ thing and literally still, putting whatever the hell drug he got on his damn teeth. Look like they got a damn girl held there that's saying she want to go and she want to call the police and all this other stuff. He's telling her the girl is okay. Vic is telling him turn the damn music down or turn it off. And then Tommy's like, listen, we ain't with the, bull crap. He was like, you ain't got to call the cops. When we leave, you'll leave. If you want to leave, I got you. And the girl tells him, yeah, she wants to get the hell up out of there. And so all of a sudden the guy comes pulling out a gun and he's saying, you're going to do what I want you to do. It's been long enough. You've been playing too many games, making side deals with your old man and all this other stuff. And he was like, you here to move weight, let's move weight. And he's high as hell waving this damn gun around. So, of course, Tommy ain't with that. And then he's also asking who's Tommy and why he brought him there. And so in the midst of him pointing his gun back and forth between Tommy and Vic, of course, Tommy done pulled out his gun, and they saying that this guy that I guess is supposed to be his bodyguard is Fat Tony. And he was like, you don't look like a Fat Tony. And he talking about I've been on keto. And, Tommy tells him, you don't want to try it today. At this point, Vic done slammed the damn guy down on the floor. And, Tommy done got the drop on Tony. And Tony's like, listen, I got a family. I got kids. He's basically passing him his gun. Like he's saying, I'm don't get paid enough for this. And Tommy tells Fat Tony to go ahead and get the girl out of there and go ahead about his business, okay? And he actually even tells them, what stuff the guy has and all of that. And so Tommy was like, okay, go ahead, do what you got to do. And first Tommy was saying, we don't need to kill this guy in broad daylight. But then once Tommy has the bag and they have the information that Fat Tony gave them, he throws him a pillow like, okay, now you can paint the walls. And so they bring back the bag to Daddy Flynn. They letting him know, what happened. Of course, he's pissed off. He's like, what happened with this clown? And he's saying that, he's going to call him. And Tommy lets him know, like, you could go ahead and call him, but I doubt you'll get an answer. So he finds out, that he's dead. Now he agrees, like, bring Diamond Sampson to the table for them to talk. They're going to go ahead and have this meeting. And so you have Tommy come to the gym. And at this point, Diamond just finished doing, like a little boxing training. And Tommy is reading some stuff off the wall, that's saying what kind of fighter Diamond is and how he's won. And Tommy tells him he used to box too. And he, Diamond is like, okay, you just came here for small talk to talk about, my boxing and how I do. Or you want to come in and box with me? Like, what's happening? And Tommy says no. He says, Walter Flynn wants to meet up with you. So, of course, Jannard gets upset at this. He don't even want, Diamond to talk to Tommy, He damn sure don't want him to consider doing anything with Walter Flynn at all. He's like, are you crazy? Get out of here. And he was like, I know you're not going to have this conversation. And so, of course, Tommy's like, I'm talking to your brother. This is between me and him. This has nothing to do with you. And Jannard says, well, I'm the one that's in charge, so it does have something to do with me. Unless you trying to battle me, and you want the spot back and you want to be in charge. And so, of course, now Jannard essentially wants to fight Diamond. And I'm like, Jannard, you sure you want to do this now? You sure? Oh, okay. When they asking you for something, you give it to them. And so they get in that damn ring, and Jannard was getting beat up, so he had to start using some kicks. Mind you, of course, Tommy starts making bets on it, and the guy gonna talk about some, always bet on the shorter one or the smaller one or whatever, because Jannard is smaller than Diamond. And Tommy says they're both bigger than me, and he just looks at him. So they making bets, Tommy goes with Diamond and the guy goes with Jannard. But I ain't gonna hold you. But Diamond kicked Jannard's behind, okay? First he was getting him, and then, like I said, Jannard started trying to do these kicks because the guy just finished saying, watch out for them legs. And Tommy was like, what you mean legs? Like, what's going to happen with the legs? And he started doing some kickboxing shit, and Tommy was like, oh no, man, use the hands. We ain't got no time to be throwing no damn legs, all right? And so after that, Diamond goes in on him, and it's like he catches himself when he sees him already down and out on the floor, like, okay, this is my brother, and he stops. But if he would have kept going, he looked like he would have been like obliterated, okay? And so then we had Claudia go to this older man and talk to him. You know, she's telling him she ain't here to play no games, even though she did come with her little sexy outfit on. You know, he's saying they got something in common. They both like to eat PUSSY. And, you know, she essentially, after seeing that he was playing games with her and wasn't taking her serious, takes out the phone, shows him a picture of his daughter, says what school she goes to and all of that. And at first he was trying to be like, you know, don't threaten my daughter. And she just lets him know, like, you know, don't get it twisted. We're still in charge of this. And if we take this away from you, we could put it in somebody else's pocket and you just wouldn't have the money. And you might start having some damn family members come up missing. So you need to take this a little bit more serious. And she also lets him know, even if she was into guys and she did give him a chance, she doubt he would know what to do with that tongue. Okay? And so she go ahead about her business, you know, after that. And so Tommy, of course, is still not trusting Liliana. He's still asking questions. He's still saying something is not sitting right with this. There's more to this story. I'm giving you the opportunity to come out and let me know, where did you get this stuff from? And she still keeps going with the same story. And so he's basically like, you know, okay, I'm going to hold you at arm's length. He ain't trying to mess with her on that level until he could figure out what's really happening here, because Tommy's not no dummy. And then, you know, he gets a text saying to meet up at Dr. Parker's office, which is basically where the bar is at. And so he, you know, goes there, and he's basically trying to mediate the North and the South, right? The black and the white, of course. And he gets there first. And Flynn is like, well, where's your man? He was supposed to be here already. He like, don't worry about it. He's coming. And Diamond walks in not even a couple minutes after that. And he was telling him that the way he have it, everything would be split. They would be able to sell their pills certain places where they wasn't before. And, of course, vice versa with the coke, that it could be a 10% markup for them. And that Tommy's winning all of this for bringing it together is 5% of everything. And so, of course, Flynn is like, whoa, and yeah, you know, you trying to add yourself in and make whatever with you. And, you know, Paulie is upset and bringing up with Walter that supposedly Diamond hurt his wife and hurt his wife some kind of way. Some kind of way he had to spend thousands of dollars on plastic surgery because of some bullets spraying and some glass hitting her face. And Diamond is saying that he never had anything to do with that. He's been telling them for the longest he didn't have anything to do with that. And that Walter shot 9 of his men, you know what I'm saying, going after people. And he says he could have still been coming after Walter, but he never did. And so Walter was like, oh, that's because you know I would have finished off even more. And he was like, no, that's because I know that we didn't do anything, and I didn't want to continue to have a war and put more of my men in jeopardy. And, you know, basically he was saying to Vic, I bet you didn't know about that. And so in this instance, Vic actually doesn't agree with his father. At this point, Diamond goes to walk off, and of course Tommy is pissed off, like, yo, what the hell? Why would you do this? And he even apologizes to Diamond, like, I didn't know he was going to come out like this. I would have never brought you here for that. And then, you know, Diamond says, I did. It's not your fault. You know, it is what it is. He was like, but it's bad for the city. And Vic was basically saying the same thing. He's like, you just messed this all up. This could have been such a change and took us into a whole nother place, is what we needed. And you know, just blew it all away for what? And then Walter tells him, still basically saying the same thing, that they will come down on them and they will become outcasts, I guess, as far as, you know, the Irish mafia goes. So he's saying there's no way that they could have did this. And my whole thing is, then why even bring them there and waste time? You know, Tommy at this point was outside. That's when he went out there to apologize to Diamond. And Glow comes past and say, I guess I got the answer to what you do now. And Tommy says, well, how can it be an answer when you never asked the question? And I have to agree with Tommy there. At the end of the day, you pretty much, Glow, from what I seen, was making it seem like you didn't care what he was here for. Because originally he wasn't even supposed to be staying. You was just doing what you was doing. And he didn't care about any answers from you. When you was going to tell him about your relationship with Vic, he told you didn't have to explain anything to him. So that seemed kind of like random to me coming from Glow. And at the same time, we got two other people in the car. I don't know what kind of, these was officers or what, taking pictures of Tommy and saying it looks like they have a new player in town. They also had Claudia following behind Tommy. At one point, she cuts him off in the street. And she's saying, I just wanted to introduce myself to this person that's, so bold to just be coming out here thinking he could take over stuff. And Tommy says, well, hey, yeah, it's about to be on and popping. Do you want in? And she tells him he's a little too late, that she got something big that basically would kick his teeth in. So he like, hey, tell me more about it. I might be interested in that, right? Are you looking for, a partner? Do you need help with it? And she's like saying, we shall see. And basically says, welcome to Chicago, Tommy. And of course, I was already feeling like him and her may possibly end up working together. We see there's a good connection with him and Diamond. I even think at this point, Vic would be willing to work with him. The one that doesn't seem like he wants to work with him is Walter, okay? And so then we have Jannard talking to his man, and he's saying that this was all a play, that he fell out supposedly and let Diamond win the fight. And they saying how CBI is going to be split down the middle in the beginning. But eventually, Jannard says everybody would be leaving with him. So I found that to be real interesting. And I still don't know that Jannard played dead, okay? Because I really feel like Diamond could kick his behind if he wanted to. We then had Claudia chilling with the chick from the club, of course, discussing this new drug she had. We found out that that's actually came from a busted diet pill that they was trying to make. And Claudia, when the chick says, it would be nice working with the Flynn family, lets her know you won't be working with the Flynn family. You'll be working with me. It's going to be just you and me. Okay? And that is how as a matter of fact, that's not how the episode ended. We then had Miss Glow texting Tommy talking about you up. He talking about always. She talking about you want company. She said always. And then she come over there to get it in. She essentially says to him, oh, Mr. Firestarter is staying in a firehouse. How funny is that? And then, they get it in. And that is how the episode ended. So Claudia's saying it's just her and the chick. Claudia's already separating from her dad. And then Jannard and Diamond are separated. And so we shall see what the other separations is going to be. And who is going to come together and be working together. Tell me what y'all think. Put it all in the comments and tell me what you thought about this episode. Let me know. Okay? Like, share, subscribe. Till next time. Toodaloo.